Hello, welcome one and all. Sit down, get comfy. Let's dial up the sound and have a listen. All right. So, if you've been under a rock, what we're talking about today is humane. Humane. I think they spell it H-U and then a dot and then M-A and then a dot and N-E. All right, November Echo, N-E. Humane. So we're talking about the humane pin or badge. I think in America they call it a badge, and in the UK we call it in the UK we call it a badge, and in America they call it a pin. So this is like a brooch or like a thing that you'd clip on your clothes. All right. So in Europe maybe we'd have a poppy and we'd pin it to ourselves, or we'd have something pretty. Just normally just on the side here. Off. I don't know why I point to the left. It always seems to be on the left. So it's a small thing. All right. This humane pin or badge. We call it badge. Americans call it a pin. Right. So what exactly is it? What exactly is it? For those that are watching, it's on the screen now. It's a small little square with a little bit on the top that's tilted down a little bit. So imagine like a really big I don't know, like a Zippo lighter or a really big stamp. Okay, and it's probably, I don't know, it's probably a quarter of an inch thick, maybe a bit less than that. And obviously, it's an electrical device. It's got a battery and all that sort of things. It's a technological piece of gadget. Now, what they're describing is they're hoping that in the future it will replace the phone, and you won't need a phone. Phone will be invisible, or communication will be invisible. Technology will be invisible. That's some of the words they use. Right, so it's a little thing that clips onto your clothing, all right? And we'll get to that in a moment. But it projects onto your hand all the things you need to know. So whether, like, I don't know, you ask for the weather and it'll project a little image of what the weather's going to be. And it's like, it's only a very, very small projection, and it's in green, like a little bit of writing. It's not like a hologram or anything like that. It's, it's just a little bit of green projection. So you can watch it if you type into YouTube AI pin or humane pin, anything like that. So that's the company. So these two people that have started the company were really big, high up executives within Apple. All right, they know their stuff. And I think one might have been Microsoft. I can't remember, but they really know their stuff. They're really high level CEOs and SEOs and anyway, they were big cheeses, as we might say, a big cheese. So these people really know what they're talking about, apparently, and this thing, this technology they've made, they think it's better and the newest thing, and everybody's going to have this in the future, this badge. All right, they say it's more about engaging with your family and being in the moment. It's more about engaging with life, and so technology is just in the background. So if you watch the video, you'll see they say, what can you do with it? What's exciting about it? What's good about it? Apart from being able to project onto your hand, the weather, or an alarm or an email, something like that. Well, it can do a lot more than that. It connects to Bluetooth, so you can have an earpiece on in your ear, or I think it's got a built-in microphone and camera and speaker, so it can talk to you. And the amazing thing about it is it's running all on like the Chat GPT AI. So, for example, you could hold up a chocolate bar, and you could go, "Oh, I want to eat this chocolate bar. Is it okay for me to eat?" And then your little camera thing, your little badge would take a photo of it, and it would tell you. It would say, "Oh no, there's a lot of calories or high cholesterol or high salt or something like that," and then it would say, "It's not a good idea for your current goals." And then you could say, "Okay, but I'm going to eat it anyway," and it wouldn't judge you. It says, "Sure, enjoy it." All right, so that's what he shows in the demo. In the demo of the little gadget, he shows that he's taking a picture of a chocolate bar. He also takes a photo of a book, and he said, "Oh, this is a really good book. Can you find it for me? How much?" And buy it So just him talking to this badge, this thing he's got on his chest, he's able then to get the machine or the AI to purchase it. So we can only assume that you have some kind of app or some kind of portal that you set up, whether like payment options, your goals, your dietary goals, or and also it talks about your summary. So you can ask what your summary is for today in regards to business or your emails and things like that. So it can read to you what stuff you've got going on, what's going to happen. And so it's very aware of who you are, what you're about, what your goals are, your bank details, or to be able to purchase things and things like that. And it can also reference previous messages with with your text messages, I guess. So you'd have to program that into it somehow, because in the demo he says, "Oh, what was the gate code, the code for the gate that so and so sent me," and it tells him, it repeats back the code for the gate. So it's able to scroll through your messages to find the numbers. So that was very interesting and very exciting. All right, what else do we know about it? So it's AI, it's verbal communication. You can obviously have a Bluetooth with it, so it's in your ear. It projects onto your hand, so you can see different things happening in your hand. You could see, like, I don't know, the weather, the next meetings, and and he did some gestures with his hand out in front of him. He did some gestures like pointing, closing the hand, and things like that, which is a way to interact and get it to move along. So that was interesting. Another thing he did, and he talked about engaging in the moment and enjoying the moment, is that like you can double tap it or single tap or slide or whatever the commands are. So you can interact with it physically by touching it on your chest. And so that way you're able to do small recordings. I think you can record for a minute. You can take photos and things like this. And you can answer and receive phone calls. So yeah, there's a lot of similarities to a mobile phone there. A lot of similarities. Very interesting. Right. Okay. So what else? Real-time language exchange. So they had in the demo, they had somebody that spoke in another language, and he pressed the button and it listened, and then it repeated back his reply to the other guy. Now, in reality, if you and I have used Google to try and translate something in real time, it can take a few minutes waiting for the lag of the internet going up and back down and things like that. Maybe Starlink will make that a thing of the past. I don't know. Lag times with Starlink are very, very short. Okay, so you can interact with other people from another language. It can tell you about your summary of your emails or your schedule, your busy day. It can tell you about the weather. It can tell you about your goals regards to food and things like that. What else can it do? It can take video, photos. It can take and receive phone calls. So lots of similarities and to a mobile phone. And I'm sure in the future there will be a lot more apps or a lot more connectivity, a lot more things you could do with it. Especially because it's powered by ChatGPT, and ChatGPT on the professional levels can connect with other things like YouTube, Wolfram Alpha, and other interesting things like that. So yeah, I think there's potential there for it to be a very interesting piece of equipment. All right, so that's the exciting positive bits about it. What about the downsides of this thing? What about downsides? Oh, hang on, one more positive. It comes with a clip, so you can clip it on. Not just a regular clip, like a magnetic clip. So in the demonstration, he was able to have it pinned, or she was able to have it connected via a magnetic strip or magnetics in the back of it that connected to the battery. So not only is there a battery that fits on the back, a bit like a microphone with what are they called? DJI microphones. It clips on with a magnet. So there's different size clips. A regular one that's really good that can go through a leather jacket, and then they have very, very delicate clips or magnets that can go for a blouse. All right, so that's the battery. That's on the back, and it can clip on different things like that. Right. So that's the positives. Let's have a look at some of the negatives. What are some of the bad things about it that people have been thrown up so far? What other issues could there be? So, number one, what's the first thing? There's no screen. There's no actual screen to consume your media. So if you love Instagram, if you love TikToks and YouTube, and you're sat, I don't know, in the bathroom or in the queue waiting for a bus or something else like that, where you've got nothing to do and you're just sat there, then you can't look at your screen if you don't have a mobile phone. So you need to have a mobile phone if you want to consume some media, some entertainment. Okay, so that's one of the first things. Another thing is that if you've got your phone with you because you want to consume TikTok, YouTube, and things like that, then you're having to pay out for another device. So how much is this device? Right, you'll be surprised to hear it's not cheap. It is $699. Well, I hear you ask, $699? Yes, that's right. But that's not it. There's more. What more could there be than paying $700? Well, there's a subscription. Yeah, there's a subscription. $24 a month subscription. Wow. And I'm guessing that's for the mobile phone chip inside, which will connect to the internet, like the data chip. There is unlimited calls and texts and questions or queries, whatever you like to call it. But $699 and a 24-month subscription? That seems quite stiff to me, quite high. All right. Also, this is just the first generation. Surely a lot of people will just be waiting for the second and third generation. All right. So there's a subscription. There's no screen. All right. This projector, will it work in bright daylight? Will you still be able to see it if you're outside in the sun? I don't know. Right. What about hearing in a noisy environment? What about if you're in a train and it says, "Hey, you have an email. Would you like me to read the email?" It could be very personal, sensitive. So you don't want it talking out in a busy environment. Could you hear it in a busy environment, or do you have to wear an earpiece all the time? Because that could become uncomfortable if you're wearing this earpiece all the time. All right, so that's another interesting aspect that you'd have to consider. All right. Again, you'd have to have some sort of kind of app or portal into this machine. What kind of portal would it be? Will it be an app? Will you have to go onto a desktop site so as to avoid having an app? But then you might not have a computer. You might only have a tablet. So that's another aspect to consider, setting it up. And also with setting it up comes data and privacy. Not just the fact that it's listening all the time, or the fact that it's got a camera and it could potentially look and see things all the time and listen. So there's not just a big privacy concern there, but also, like if you're going in for an exam and things like this, but also regards to your information. Many companies accidentally leak your information occasionally, and you might not even know about it. So somebody could end up buying, or by other circumstances, end up with your information. And how much information do they get? They would know about your goals, about your eating habits, your dietary requirements, your emails. Everything about you would be connected to this chip that's going up and down to the internet, up and down to the cloud. So that's another thing. Apparently your information goes to their cloud servers, so it's stored all the time. Okay, right. What else we got? We got what about the sound of your video? So you take an important, you don't get your phone out. You think, no, I'll use my new badge. And you double tap and you're recording some amazing moments with your family. Just a few seconds. Maybe your child is blowing out the candles on the cake. Maybe some other really important moment. What about if you accidentally touch it in a very inappropriate time? So you've you're not getting your phone out of your pocket. You're using this thing up on your chest. So what about the recording capabilities? Maybe if you're on the beach and the wind's blowing, does it have an air blocker like this? Does it have something to block all the wind? You know, we call it like a dead cat, that furry thing that's poking out on the top of a microphone. So does it have that? How good is this recording quality? Can you use it for those special moments that you want for your keepsakes forever? All right, that's another thing to consider. How do you view the video? Maybe if they showed it on the projector, you know, maybe you could just look back at what you've just seen. I don't know if the projector is that good. I saw it was in green and it was just, you know, like basic information. But would you be able to watch the video that you just took? Are we going to be walking around with our hands out in front of us to watch YouTube on our hands? I don't think that's what they got intended for it. So what I'm saying is, how then do you go and watch the videos? Do you have to take out the SIM card? Or do you have to log into a portal that connects to their cloud and then download it and then watch it? That sounds a little bit frustrating, a little bit difficult. Potentially has issues. All right, what else we got? I said about the viewing. What about if you've got no internet? Now, if you've got no internet on your mobile phone, you can still play games. Often you can still listen to your music you've got downloaded. You can watch other things that you've got downloaded. There's still a number of things you can do with your phone if you don't have internet. Still use the calculator. Still use still take photos. Still look at all your photos that you've got downloaded onto your phone if you don't have the internet. But with this device, if you have no internet connection, because I don't know, maybe you're in the middle of a hospital, or maybe you're in some kind of subway or metro system, and the internet's bad, you know, because you'd have to connect directly to the, be able to see the sky generally and see a good connection with the satellite in space. All right. So yeah, with no internet, is it rubbish? Is it terrible? I said about waiting for version 2 and 3. Children's privacy, there's another thing. What happens if the children get hold of this and the children ask the AI some inappropriate questions? How will it know whether it's talking to you or your child? And a child asks the AI something inappropriate that's not age related. I don't know, maybe about guns or knives or things like this. Talking of guns and knives, I thought of another question earlier that I didn't add to my notes. And that was, what happens if you use inappropriate language? Now, I don't mean just like swearing, you know, those bad words, but colloquialisms for different countries can be very emotive. So, for example, there was a story about a celebrity, like a B-list celebrity from the UK that wanted that was going to go to America. And in one of his tweets, he said, "Oh yeah, I'm going to America and I'm going to blow it up. I'm amazing. I'm great, blah, blah, blah." And he was talking figuratively about how well he's going to do in America. And then something picked up on his tweet, and then he was refused access purely because of the language he used that was actually positive about how he was going to be in America, and he was denied access. So who interprets the language, whether it's colloquialisms, whether it's, I don't know, abstract or anything else that can then deny you access? You know, where does it go? Data leaks, inappropriate language. Yeah, there's all sorts of issues with that as well, I guess. All right. Okay, so in summary then, in summary, this is, I'm wrapping up to the end of this thing. That AI pin by Humane. In summary, there's no screen. So it means you've got to get you've got to have a mobile phone with you. All right, no screen. You can't watch anything on the go unless you've got your phone with you. All right. Second thing, the additional cost. You're already paying for your mobile phone and your mobile phone network and everything else that goes with your phone, your subscriptions and everything else. If you put that, you've still got to pay for that and for this thing, which is $700 and a 24-month subscription. Now, I don't know about you, but in the UK, for £25, you can get a fairly new phone on we don't call it on subscription. What do we call it? On contract. All right, you might be in the 2-year contract, but you can get a really, really good phone for £25. So why? It'd have to be pretty flipping amazing to want to pay out that. You know, and are they wanting it to access for everybody? Because a lot of people are not going to be able to afford that kind of subscription on top of what they're already paying. So that's another negative. All right, what else we got? No ability to type sensitive information. So if for example, you're dating and you're flirting, you can't say those things on the train or in the office. Oh yeah, you're really beautiful. Wait until tonight. I'm gonna kiss your neck, and you can't say that on a train. So there's no way of typing that back onto your device. So you got to get your phone out on the train and sneakily write a cheeky text back to your girlfriend or the person you're dating or even your wife. Okay, there's no way of inputting sensitive information without everybody hearing it. All right, so that's another third. Is that the third one? The third one. All right, the fourth one, I said no internet. There's no use of it. It's actually useless. And so, it's just a waste of time. And then I said about data, privacy, inappropriate stuff. Because obviously with our phones, you're unlocking it with your thumbprint. With your phone, it might have Face ID. With your phone, there's a level of security. But with this pin, although it's on you, I mean, somebody could take it off of you. You could go through security at an airport, or you could go through security at a government building, and they can take it off you. And then whilst it's sat in a cupboard or something, or chucked on, anybody could talk to it and ask it anything inappropriate or wrong, or get you in trouble because it's connected to you, or at least it's connected to you via a contract. So what about the privacy there? All right, so all in all, I think it's got potential to be a good product in the future. And yes, being less connected to screens would be a positive thing, I think, for many people. But in reality, everyday life, we want to see a screen because we want to have a bit of escapism and get away. You're having a bad day in the office. You go outside for a cigarette or you go for some fresh air. You just want to go on your phone and look at something to make you smile and laugh, whether it's some kitty cat videos or a panda sneezing. You want to see something to cheer you up. That maybe you could show somebody else. Oh, look at that panda. Something you can engage with. And if it's in your hand, you can show it to somebody else. You can't do that when it's just on your chest. You can't actually look at anything. So although it has potential, I think there's a long way to go where maybe something like this combined with Google Glasses, where you can see a screen and laugh and joke and enjoy something without being too distracted from the real world of where you've got to walk in the street and cross the road and things like that. So like I said, yeah, I think there's potential, but it definitely isn't there yet as a complete product that I would be purchasing. Although maybe I've got a little bit of extra income, I wouldn't be spending it on this Humane AI pin. What do you think? Is it too much? Is it a step in the right direction? Let me know in the comments below. Tell me what your thoughts are and what you think about this new technology and gadget. Does it bring us together, or is it pulling us apart as a nation, as a community? Let me know what you think in the comments. Would you buy it? $699 and a 24-month subscription. Would you buy it? Let me know in the comments. Right, that's it for this time. I'll see you in the next video. Take care. Bye-bye.